Hey guys! Today we're making one of India's favorite street food. Yes, the momos. They are also popularly known as dumplings or dim sums. I'll be making 3 versions of them today, so without any further ado, let's get started. So these are the 2 versions of your base dough. The left one is your plain white dough and the right one is a beetroot pink dough. I'm making a bigger batch of the white dough, but you can moderate the ratios as per your need. We'll need the white dough in water and the pink dough in beetroot extract. The consistency of your dough should neither be too hard nor too soft. If hard, it'll turn out chewy, and if too soft, it'll either stick or tear when cooked. Then we'll just mash it, bring it all together, cover it in a wet damp cloth and leave it for about an hour. Now for the filling, in a pan add 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. Once it's hot enough, add in 1 diced onion. I'm using 1 big onion here. I'm adding the veggies I had at home, but you can get really creative with the stuffing here. To this I'm adding in the mashed garlic, ginger and green chilies. Again, chili can be moderated as per your taste. Adding in some finely diced carrot, salt and pepper for seasoning. This can be moderated as per taste. To this I'm adding grated cabbage. Give it a good mix and cook it for a minute or 2. In the end, for some freshness and color, I'm adding in some spring onions. And of course, coriander. Lots and lots of coriander. And now our star ingredient, which will balance the entire stuffing, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of unflavored vinegar. And that's it, the stuffing is ready. Now for version 2 of the stuffing, we'll take out some of our stuffing we've made earlier. To this, I'll be adding around 250 to 300 grams of grated paneer or cottage cheese. Give it a good mix. To this I'll be adding grated beetroot. This is the same beetroot of which we extracted the juice earlier. Check the seasoning and adjust with some more salt and pepper. And to add a little punch and kick to the stuffing, I'm adding in some fresh red chili. And just like that, our paneer and beetroot stuffing is ready as well. Now for the chutney, we first need to boil our tomatoes. And here's a quick trick for which you'll thank me later. Just remove the stem from the center and then make 3 to 4 cuts around the tomato like so. This will help us peel off the skin very easily once boiled. I've de-seeded around 3 to 4 red dried chilies and we'll boil them together as well. With that, I'm adding in some fresh red chilies as well. Now these ones are not very spicy, but adding them will add a different note of heat to your chutney. I am de-seeding them because I'm not making the traditional super spicy chutney here, but a little spicy nonetheless. In a blender, I'll add in 1 onion, roughly chopped, 1 inch of ginger, around 10 to 12 garlic cloves, the red chilies, and a handful of peanuts. I'm using toasted peanuts here, and just a dash of lime, some salt, and some sugar to balance it all. On the other hand, our tomatoes are boiled and ready. Now carefully remove them from the water. So because of the slits we made earlier, you can now see how easily we can peel off the skin. Be very careful around the hot tomatoes. We'll add the tomatoes to the blender and the chilies, which I forgot to pick earlier as well. Give it a couple of minutes to cool down and then mix it in a blender. This is the consistency we're looking for. For the final touches, we'll cook this in oil. What this will do is help this retain for a lot longer in your fridge than it would have otherwise. Check the seasoning, add some salt if need be. And the third texture of chili in the chutney, the red chili powder. I personally prefer this version of chutney with the momos. And nothing is ever complete without coriander, so here it goes. This will also add a beautiful texture to your chutney, really. Now back to our dough, it is well rested. We'll just knead it a little to bring it together. You see the consistency, it's neither too hard nor too soft. You don't have to overwork it, just a little mix and it is good to go. Now slit the dough and cover the rest of it with a damp cloth just like before so that it does not dry out until we use it. Now we'll just mold them into some cylinders and cut them into small workable sizes. You can either do it this way or skip this and roll out a bigger cut and make smaller circles using a ring cutter as well. All we need are these small circles. However you do it is up to you. Now we'll add in the stuffing. You can use either of the versions of the stuffing we've made. I'll now show you a couple of ways in which you can shape your momos. Just fold this in half and seal the edges all the way. This is my personal favorite shape and one of the easiest as well. Ensure the edges are sealed or it will break once you steam it or fry it. We'll double check this again. Now simply fold inwards the two ends of your momo and press it together and seal. This looks like a rosebud, especially the beetroot one. For the next shape, fold this into half and seal the top middle part of your momo and then press the bottom with the middle part and give the edges the shape. Just follow the motion. Bring together the bottom middle with the top center and shape the edges. Just like this. Ensure all the sides are properly sealed. And tada, it's done. Fairly simple, right? I molded a couple of more shapes offline. Do let me know if you guys are interested in watching these as well. Now I had this steamer, but if you don't have this, you can use the idli stand or kadhai stand as well. Lining it with some oil to avoid any stickiness here. Yeah, and that's it. We'll just place in these beautifully shaped momos inside and steam them for about 8 to 10 minutes. Like I promised, 3 versions. Here's the first one, the fried momos. I like mine a little darker than the traditional golden brown, but you can definitely stop at whatever color you feel it looks good at. Keeping the plating simple, just some beautiful chutney in the middle and the goodness of fried momos around. You just cannot say no to this. And here's the close-up beauty shot. Second kind of plating, just add a spoonful of chutney and brush it across the plate in a straight line. And we'll place our gorgeous beetroot momos on top of this. These are absolutely stunning and equally delicious. Plating 3, the side curve. Using the back of your spoon, just spread it across in a curve. Our third version, the steamed white momos are ready as well. I made a chili oil using dried chili flakes, some oil and some garlic, and spreading this across the momos. So this was my take on the traditional street momos. If you like this, then please do like, share and subscribe. Also do let me know which version is your favorite in the comment box down below. Suggest what you want to see next. Also follow me on my Instagram @foodtheorywithmeenal. Until next time, bye.